Hi, welcome to my time break lesson. We're going to attempt to teach you some of the basics that I have learned on Skype. On Python. Alright, so let's move this monster out the way because we don't want that here. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's pretty cool. We'll do that. Alright, so this space here is where we put our programming, what we type into Python and how we tell it to do what it's going to do. And this
should be your working page.
Yes, effectively our working page. And in this section here, where we've got the IPython console, you'll see that the program starts to run. It will give you certain indications. Okay, so here we go. In order to start doing this, our game plan is to get the program to run to measure time and then to kick in a web page. So for it to start know that we're going to be measuring time, we need to import the time module. And the way that we look at that is really a box of things that Python already knows, and there's a whole bunch of commands inside those boxes. So we're really opening the box of time in the library. Okay, and we do this by saying import time. The next thing, because we wanted to bring up a web page, we need to tell it to open the box for web browser. Okay, so we're going to import web browser. Spelling is very important here.
Sure.
Browser. Okay, I think I've spelled that correct. Absolutely cool. Okay, so we've told it to look at these two things. Now what we need to do is define our parameters. Okay, so our first thing is that we're going to start our parameter at 0. And I'm just going to title our parameter break count. Okay, break count. Right, and we're going to make that equal 0 because that's where we'd like it to start. Now in Python, 0 is actually 1. It sees it as first instant is 1. Okay, then the next thing we want to do is tell it where it should stop. Okay, which will be, I'm going to title it as total count. Let's get this right. Total count. No, total breaks is what I think I should actually call it. Total breaks, that makes sense. Well, either one, it doesn't really matter. And that we're going to tell it to equal 3. So when it reaches 3, it should stop.
Okay, so it will pause for 3 seconds.
No, it's going to do a loop 3 times.
Okay. And
when it gets to 3, it will stop. And the interesting thing is with Python is the first loop will be 0, the second loop will be 1, and the third loop will be 2, and then the moment it sees that it's going to be on number 3, it will stop. So it'll actually just go 0, 1, 2 for the 3 counts. Alright, now what we're going to do next is sort of give ourselves some type of indication that the program has started. So we're going to give it a command called print. Notice I call everything, when you know it to give commands, that it actually has color codes. It's very cool. And inside the print, we're going to tell it to tell us something. Alright, so in this case, I'm just going to say this program started. This program started on, okay, and I'm going to put a space, and the reason for the space is because, as you can see, the writing is in green, so it's reading that as text, and the reason I'm going to put the space is just so it looks a little bit neater, because when it gives that little bit of information about what's it starting, it would put it right next to it. So this is just for pretty sake, and now I'm going to evoke one of the commands that are in the time module that we've imported, and this is called plus time.ctime, alright, and ctime stands for current time, alright, and then
so we started on plus
time.ctime, which will give us the current time of the computer that this actually starts. Now something that I've discovered is you must put these brackets afterwards, otherwise it doesn't make sense. I don't know why, it's obviously a thing about Python, I'm still getting there. Now we're going to start creating the
grammar.
Like it's language, yeah. Okay, now we're going to start doing the loops. The loop that we're going to use is called a while loop. Alright, check that goes blue, so cool. So while we run break count, okay, underscore, what have I done there? Sorry, I'm not looking at what I'm typing. Let me just undo that. I'm just typing. We'll go back there. Obviously pushed something wrong. Okay, so shift open, and we want to use break count. So I'm just going to copy and paste, to be honest. No, let's do that. Control C, chuck that in there. Okay, Control V. Okay, so while the break count is less than the total breaks, copy that, chuck that in there. Okay, now what we're doing is we're saying as long as the break count is less than the total count, do the following. Now remember, we must always put the colon after it. It's sort of like saying the following is.
Yeah, there's
okay?
an instruction, then again another one.
Exactly, okay. Now what we're going to do is invoke another like instruction from the time module, which is time.sleep, okay? And we're just going to keep it short. It does the count in seconds, alright? So we're just going to make it 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That'll wait. Our actual goal here is to make it 2 hours, but just to see it actually work.
Okay.
Now, after 10 seconds, it's got to do something, and what we're going to do is tell it to do a web browser. Let's see, we're going to go web, open the web browser. I spelled that wrong.
Yeah.
Browser. Okay, and then what is it going to do? It's going to open it. So web browser got open, which is quite cool. Now we're going to choose what video. So let's quickly grab something from YouTube. Sorry, this will take a few seconds.
Okay.
Come on, YouTube. Do your magic.
It's quite exciting, this.
It is, hey? You're learning something new. I love it.
Do you not have a thing like a Tron?
What's a Tron?
In BASIC you have a command Tron, which means trace on. And when you're running a routine that you've written, it actually shows the line it's on
Oh,
as it's going through.
hey, no, I don't know. Well, I'll have to
It's very useful because, if you've written a few 100 lines of code and it's not working, you put the trace on and eventually gets to a line and freezes there and you think that's where the fault is.
Well, the cool thing about using this other interface that we're doing, right, it'll actually show you where your errors are, and I love it.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is, just because we love this video, we're going to put this one in. I'm not going to let it play, but I want to grab the share thing. Come on. Alright. So give me a few seconds, I want to get the link. So Control C. Now we've got our link, right? So we're going to go back into Python, well, into Spider. And again, you've got to put in these colon, push the button on again. You've got to put in like inverted commas, so it reads it as a text. Control V. Alright, and then closing our statement as well, so it's open and close with that. Then to finish off our monster, finally, we're going to tell it that each time it runs it, it has to add 1 to the count, right?
Okay.
So what we write there is break count, because that's what we're doing here at the break count part there. Break count is going to equal break count plus 1.
Plus 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Which makes sense, actually. I love it. It makes me feel like we're doing basic algebra in a way. Plus 1. Okay. So now the thing here to do is you generally will save your stuff before going. Let's save it. I don't know. We'll save it as Neil lesson, just because it's fun. Alright. There we go. Oops, not M. There we go. Alright, so we'll save it. And now that we've saved it, let's go ahead and see if it runs. Have I got everything typed in right? See how it's got orange there? Wonder why.
Orange gives you 15.
No, the total break. Let's see if it runs. Okay, so we're going to push play. Okay, now you check here, error name, total break, whatever. Total breaks, check at that. You see how it highlights it yellow? So maybe that thing that you were talking about, it's actually built in these things. Okay, so I misspelled it. Let's save that again and push play. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there you go. The program started on Thursday, July, and that's the exact time that we've just done it.
Okay.
Now, technically, it should wait 10 seconds and then start playing our video. Check at that. Check at that.
Very good.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna pause it there just so we can jump back. Oh, and it's already done it again. So obviously 10 seconds. So that's our count of 2. Let's go back again. And let's see. It should technically get. Yay! And there we go. And now if we wait a little bit longer, it should technically not play again because it's now done the count to 3.
Yeah, okay.
So let's give it a few seconds.
yeah.
There's 8, 9, 10, and it definitely hasn't started again.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and push pause and stop on the recording. If I can get it to come
Lovely.
up.
Okay, so your little time routine worked.
It did work.
The computer graphics is amazing at the back.
Alright, so now we're going to push pause here.